record. Okay.
Okay, knock knock.
Hi, come on in.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? You're Chelsea, right? Chelsea, do you go by Chelsea or something different?
Yeah, Chelsea works.
Okay, great. Give me just a moment. I'll be taking some notes during this, so if you see me looking down, it's probably because I'm doing that, both here and here. So, so I am Michael, and I go by Michael. You can call me Mike, but I might not hear you because the only people that called me Mike was my mom and my sister. And my sister learned better, so now she calls me Michael. And mom's
Okay.
dead, so my instructions here are to sort of practice a couple of work with a couple of theoretical interventions. So just to let you know that I'll be paying some attention to what you elicit, and then I don't want to say experimenting, but that's what we're doing here, right? And
Okay.
and it should be okay. It should be fun. I I I have to say, because we don't have a document, but whatever's said here stays here. Confidentiality and privacy are really important for for us, but for me especially, so that I might feel free when it's my turn to be real. And
Okay.
I'm sure you feel the same way. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, so I have in my notes that what might have brought you here, or what might be particularly bothering you today, has to do with your workload or a busyness in general.
Yeah. Work has just been really stressful lately. I'm a government contractor. So we've been dealing a lot with like the Doge cuts. So it's just been really stressful. A lot of folks getting laid off. I've unfortunately had to lay off a few people on my team.
Oh,
And it's just been like weighing on me. It's just an unfortunate time. And then uncertainty on my end too about, if I make it to the next round or if I'll be on the next thing of cut. So it's just been really, really stressful lately.
I'm sorry for that. Is
Yeah.
it is the stress? Would you say it's anxiety causing? Does it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anxiety for like not knowing what's going to happen for me. And then also just like it feels really sucky to have to lay off, people that I would consider friends, knowing that the job market they're going to is just going to be horrific. And I work in public health, so I have a lot of friends who work at the CDC or NIH getting laid off too. So it's just unfortunate all around.
Jeez. So, so this I'm going to work with the anxiety bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, what does the anxiety feel like? What's it feel like in your body when you're experiencing it?
I would say like I've definitely been having trouble sleeping lately. Like my mind is just constantly running, thinking about what my next day is gonna look like. If I'm gonna get that random meeting invite from HR letting me know like today's my last day, So I just feel like I can't relax. It feels like there's like ants running through my body during my 9 to 5, and then even afterwards, my mind's just constantly thinking about all the craziness.
Yeah. Would you call it worry or scenario exploring?
Um, I would say it's probably a little bit of both. Definitely worried about, where I'll be in the next few weeks. And then also just like the news is chaotic and very, not helpful in this time. So it's just been a crazy few weeks.
I understand. Yeah, really. So, so forgive me, but to recap, but you're finding it hard to sleep as a symptom of some stress you're experiencing that's causing some anxiety about the future, about the distant future, about tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
and your worry is about yourself and the people that you care about.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So tell me what would it look like if you were to lose your job tomorrow?
Oh, I can't even tell you. It's like so many things. It's like a domino effect. My husband and I just bought a house in Arlington like a few months ago. So, we're getting used to paying a larger mortgage. So I would be terrified about that. And as of now, I'm very fortunate that my job is I'm back in grad school, and my job is covering my tuition. So, should I get laid off, I wouldn't know um, if I would want to, continue with my program, because I would like, I don't know if I'd be able to pay it out of pocket if I'm not getting a steady salary. So that'd be another thing on my plate I would have to worry about on top of looking for a job. And I know the job market is so hectic and it's not as much positions for like the folks looking. So it'd just be insane. I'm sure I'd run through my savings quite quick. So it's been really a lot weighing on me.
Yeah, can you see the timer?
Yeah, I can't.
I don't really want you to see the timer. That would stress me. So yeah, let's get rid of that. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, fine.
Okay. So yeah, tell me what's the worst thing that could happen from you being laid off?
I would imagine the worst case scenarios, it would take me a while to find a new position, especially one that I enjoyed and was passionate about, um, that I feel like I could stay at for a long time. I think that's the worst case scenario for me.
Do you believe that that's a possibility, or
I do, especially like for the few folks in my company who got laid off in the first round of our layoffs. A few of them are still looking, and that was at least 3 months ago. So I know that that could very likely be a scenario for me, especially as more of like the government contracts get cut and like the government agencies are letting folks go. So it's just a very competitive market right now.
and and everything that's going on in the universe that's being
Yeah,
broadcast to us, right?
exactly. It's hard to
I
like
mean,
so many things.
yeah, yeah. It seems like a half a day can't go by without something coming at us. I think to make us concerned.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't know if whether like turn it off to let your mind get the break or like do we need to like be focused on
exactly.
everything, and like stay up to
Yeah,
date on the current happenings. It's hard to balance when it's all like fire everywhere.
like, is it important information, right? Is it, or is it just suffering, inviting suffering, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly. So I've been trying to focus on like, will this serve me now? And if not, keeping my phone off and just focusing on getting my tasks done and like business as usual, hoping to just keep chugging along. As of now, I'm okay. But things are changing hourly, so who knows?
for sure. So tell me, what's the one thing that you can control in this situation?
What can I control? I can control like the tasks that I have. I can control like the team that I manage, the support that I can provide to them in that moment, being transparent that I don't have all the answers and that the moment I know of anything that will affect us, I will keep them informed. And I can control sharing as many resources that I have, and like connecting my network with folks who I know who are looking to try to help them through this time.
You're very thoughtful about the people that you care for, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard, and if I was in that situation, I would hope my manager would do everything they could to help me. So I'm definitely trying to do what I can.
Yeah, and that's sounds like that might be adding a load to some of the weight that you carry is other people's potential weight.
Yeah, like I know it's a hard time for everyone, so I'm
Yeah.
just trying to help where I can.
So let's switch gears a little bit. What gives your life meaning, even
I
in the
would
face of the
say,
kind of uncertainty that we're dealing with?
yeah, I would say my relationships, my friendships, and then also like the work that I do, I'm passionate about. So ensuring that like even without like that the work we're doing continues, our current administration might not believe in science and the health and well-being of everyone, but I do. So ensuring that we continue to do well and advocate for others who need the assistance.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. So how do you see this? How do you see your anxiety functioning in your family dynamic? You said you're married. You have a husband.
Yeah. My husband is like a real support system for me. He's very opposite from me though. He's really laid back and like really goes with the flow. So he's like, oh, it'll work out. Like he knows we'll make our way through no matter what happens. So he's been really helpful, and like, hearing me, letting me rant and like providing little suggestions where he can. But that doesn't stop my brain when he goes to sleep. Don't.
Yeah, but otherwise you feel really well supported in this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like 10 out of 10 has been really helpful in this situation. So I couldn't have asked for a better support system during this time for sure.
What so as you're sharing this, what does your body feel like? What do you notice in your body?
I feel this might sound weird, but I feel like grounded. Like it feels nice to just like talk it out with someone. And like, yes, I can't control everything that's happening or like the outcomes that are come from it. But I'm like reminding myself and hearing like and talking now that leading with kindness and intention in the things that I am doing. So hoping that, hoping for the best, being prepared for the worst, and everything in between. And just knowing that I will serve as a support system for anyone who needs me and the best way that I can.
Thank you. How how do your cultural values shape the way you see this kind of challenge?
I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I like to do good work. I feel like I'm a person who sets high goals for myself. And I've worked really hard to get to this position that I am currently in my job. So starting over, I feel not starting over, but having to look again, well, it'll be hard. I feel like I have a pretty senior position. And to get there, I faced a lot of imposter syndrome. So I would feel like that would start
Yeah,
all over again if I needed to like prove myself at a new company.
and
So
that would be a sick feeling. Huh?
yeah,
Yeah,
on top of like frantically looking for a job, having to like start hopefully somewhere senior and proving that would be a whole nother conversation.
yeah. So, is there something that you're trying really hard not to feel or think about, or are you wide open to it with some filters? Or
Yeah, I feel like I'm going through all of the feelings, like the roller coasters, or like sometimes I feel like okay because I'm I do have all these years of experience. I have a master's, all these certifications. Like there's a lot of experience and education behind what I'm doing. So like I'll find a place to land. Um, and then there's the, you know, other thoughts where like, oh, it'll be crazy. Like I won't find a spot. Imposter syndrome pops up where like maybe I should start lower, take a pay cut, and just work my way up again. It's just like a literally never-ending roller coaster of thoughts.
yes, if okay, this is a big if, huh? If these thoughts were just words, just words passing by like clouds in the sky, how would you relate to them differently, or how would you relate to the thoughts differently?
I guess I would. If they're like thoughts in the sky. I don't know. In my head, if they're like out in the universe, it means someone has thought them too. So I'd be like, oh, look, I identify with that, and like I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Oh, well, that's an interesting take. I like that. Can I use that? Yeah, that's great. Which personal values matter the most to you?
Um, I would say, for me, like strong relationships. I definitely like I'm not a person who has like 10,000 friends, but I do have like a really close knit group of friends who like I can rely on, like no questions asked. Like my ride or dies for sure. And then I'm also like really close with my family. We like have a really nice communication. So I know that they're folks I can depend on. So I really value the way I think I've set up my life with the people around me and the level of honest communication we can have. Is probably one of the most prideful things that I have in my life. I think I really have some really great folks in my corner.
Yeah, you're blessed.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, yeah. Not everybody can say that. So I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you really want to get out of this situation, out of this local situation, the global situation, the the stuff that's making you lose sleep and be concerned about your well-being and that of others?
Yeah. I mean, I think I just have to get through it. Like this level, I know that this level of uncertainty like won't last forever, you know? And to be honest, this is like my first corporate job like straight out of grad school. So like, layoffs happen. Like it's a part of life. I absolutely know that. Um, I will survive. Everyone else around me will survive, we'll find our way. But I guess this has just been like maybe one of my first roadblocks. Not roadblocks, but like causes of concern in a long time. And I just like it shook me a little. I guess I was like living in this la la land where I was like, oh, like I was never worried about work or like poor performance or like getting laid off. Like everything was just like going how it was supposed to. So I was just like, oh, like I need to be prepared. I need to always be thinking and planning and, you know, life happens, and sometimes knocks
Yeah.
you off your feet and you got to be able to bounce back. So,
It forgive me, but it sounds like what you're experiencing is sort of reinforcing you. It's providing you, room to grow and
yeah.
and eliciting some strengths perhaps that you didn't know you had.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And it's like giving me like at work I talk a lot about resilience. I work in
Yeah.
suicide prevention for veterans. So I like develop a lot of programs where we're like building their resilience. We're like talking about like the adaptability. And I'm like, I gotta start, doing some of the things I'm talking about in real life, because it's real. Like there's so many things that can happen that you're not thinking about that can like knock you off of your center. So I just got to get back to my
Resilience.
center.
Yeah. Re- Resilience is a wonderful thing, The ability to bounce and bounce back better, right?
Yeah, for
Isn't that
sure.
something Joe Biden said, or is that just resilience theory? I think both. Yeah. So, one last question, if I might. Is what you're doing working for you?
Um, I would say for the most part, like I talk to my husband, I talk to my friends. That's good. Like in those moments, I feel good. But it's like those moments when I'm alone and like I can't turn off my brain or I can't turn off the TV or I'm like going down these wormholes. Like I need something to pivot my mind and like pull me out of these holes when I start spiraling, I would say.
Is there something that you do for your lack of sleep or your inability to sleep solid and long?
Um, I mean, I don't really like to take meds. I've been like toying with like the melatonin and like the magnesium to try to help me get there, especially like in the nights when it's like I haven't slept well in a few nights. I'll like try to do that. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I've been starting to like exercise, like take walks, trying to like burn some energy. So by the time I get to bed, maybe I'm a little bit more tired.
That sounds great. That sounds like you're having to carve out some time for self-care
Yeah.
and and exercising your body and maybe even getting outside.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
get
Breathing some
new
fresh air.
right, changing the scene a little bit, giving your mind a little fresh environment to live in when you're slipping into dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, sounds like you're doing a great job.
Thank
It really
you.
does. So, we've talked about acceptance. We've talked about expectations and maybe some stories like what could happen and stress and meaning. And it just sounds like a lot of buzzwords, but we have talked about that, and I think for me, having honest conversation in those spaces, it makes me feel a little better because it sort of allows me to push my comfort zones a little bit, reach in and explore and see, where there might be some faulty thinking or where there's some obstacles that I might be able to just push away. So I'm happy it went that way for me, and and I think it'll probably continue to go that way for you if you're brave and explore. And I would, do you meditate?
I don't. I have not tried.
Mindfulness meditation is very useful for getting a handle on thoughts and recognizing thoughts as they rise up in your consciousness and getting them to the point where you can say, do I believe this? Or does it have a place in my world right now? Because thoughts are nothing, right? They have no right invading consciousness. They can be puffed away, like you're blowing out a candle. And so I think that kind of exercise might be good for you, especially when it comes to getting some sleep.
Definitely.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'll
suffer.
definitely check it out.
Cool. So I think our time is up. So I've enjoyed getting to know you a little bit. We might cross paths again, and I'd be happy to. So I wish you the best until I see you again. Relax, get outside, remember to breathe, and find some stillness. Yeah.
I will. Thank you so much. This has been so helpful.
Well, thank you for your time. It's been great.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Talk soon. Ending meeting.